And we're going to start on page 49. So go there first for our grammar. And you do need a post-it note if you have one in your stuff in your bag or box that you have with you. You need a post-it note. We're going to mark this page. So you know how we do this. Stick it down. So the sticky part's down. And then you're going to write indefinite pronouns. I'm going to zoom in so you can see that. And demonstrative pronouns. And while you're writing that on your post-it, you're going to write it on the part that's not sticky, so you could stick it above your page there. Um, you already know about personal pronouns. That's he, she, it, they, them, all of those, right? Those are pretty easy to spot. Well, now there's other types of pronouns we're going to talk about today. And one of them, the indefinite pronouns, is a pretty big size list. So that's why I want you to mark this page, because when you're doing your homework this week, you might need to come back to this to look at that list, and then it'll be easy for you to find. Okay, if you're still writing, that's okay. You can keep writing that. I'm going to move it down so we can see the list here. Um, so the indefinite pronouns, that word indefinite means not definite or vague or non-specific. Okay. And it does not refer to any particular person or thing. The words below are indefinite pronouns. So personal pronouns, they tell you exactly which character they're referring back to, he or she or they. So that's very specific and it's to a person. But these are non-specific, and what I want to do is actually read this list together. You're going to stay muted though, because it echoes otherwise. So stay muted, but I want you in your room to read this list with me. Okay, and it starts right here. Ready, read. All, another, any, anybody, anyone, anything, anywhere, both, each, either, everybody, everyone, everything, everywhere, few, many, more, most, much, neither, none, one, other, others, nobody, no one, nothing, nowhere, own, several, some, somebody, someone, something, somewhere. Okay. So you can see as we go through that list, vague, right? Not anybody specific or anything specific. So now from this point on in this book, you're labeling these as PR for pronoun, okay? So that's why you got to mark this page, because you need to check, is this a pronoun? And how is it being used? The other list is a much shorter. There's only four, which is nice. These are called demonstrative pronouns. And think of the word demonstrate. In that word demonstrative, I see demonstrate. And when you're demonstrating something like how to make something, you're showing things. You're showing this is this, and that is that, and these are those. And so it makes sense to me that the demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, those. They're more specific than these, but still they're for demonstrating. Okay. And then skip down here to this example sentence. Many had nowhere to go. That was tragic. Look at all these pronouns, and they're what we're going to mark now in this book. So many is an indefinite pronoun talking about what the sentence was before, which we don't know, but maybe people had nowhere to go, nowhere. And then that was tragic. So whatever it's talking about this situation that they had nowhere to go, that's why it's a pronoun. It's referring back to that whole sentence. That was tragic. Go ahead and stick this at the top now, just above the page so you can find it later. And down here, the think about it part, this is interesting because some of those words can be used as different parts of speech. So when I'm saying parts of speech, I'm talking about like nouns, verbs, adjectives, pronouns, adverbs. Those are all called parts of speech in English. So some of them can cross over in different lists. And that's what they want to point out here. So the indefinite and demonstrative pronouns function as pronouns when they take the place of the noun. However, the same words function as adjectives when they come before a noun. So this is why it's always really important when you're doing your homework to slow down and look at where it's at in the sentence. Don't just kind of breeze through it and like pronoun, pronoun, pronoun. Okay, this is a pronoun. Try to just slow down and go, okay, what is this doing? What word is it next to? How is it functioning? Challenge yourself. Slow down. Don't blast through that because you have to really think about it. Here it is as a pronoun. Many had nowhere to go, just like that sentence above. Many had nowhere to go. It's referring back to whatever the sentence was before about whatever people they're talking about. So that functions as a pronoun. But look at the adjective. Many families had nowhere to go. Now it's more specific. It's telling which families. That's why it's an adjective. It's telling which ones or how many. Well, many, it's not a certain number, but it's a lot. Many families, that's an adjective. And then the word that as a pronoun, that was tragic, talking about the sentence before. But check it out right here. It's used as an adjective. That arrow hit the target. So since there's a noun right next to it, it's telling which arrow it is. It's that arrow. So this would be ADJ as an adjective. And then, just to make life a little more confusing for you, because they just love to do that. Just kidding, being sarcastic. Here's the that clause. Robin knew that the poor families needed help. In this sentence, that is used to begin a dependent clause. It is followed by a subject and a verb, and it completes the main clause telling what Robin knew. Robin knew that the poor families needed help. So the word that is used in lots of different ways. You have to really slow down and look at what's around it and how it's functioning in the sentence. Any questions about this page? Nope. Turn to 50, a little bit more. Homophone, you guys are familiar with those. Remember, this is same sound, so it's words that sound the same, spelled differently, mean different things. So here at the end of that first little paragraph, it says there, and there. 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 It's gonna be okay. There. So they're all different though. Look at the first one, THERE, is an adverb pointing to a place over there. There is the place, or there is the spot. So a way for me to remember how to spell this, if you struggle with spelling like me, cover the T and you see here. That helps me remember the spelling of that. That means here or there, right? It's a spot, it's a place. THEIR is a possessive pronoun. Their arrows, meaning the arrows belong to them. So their arrows, they belong to them. Or THYEY apostrophe RE, that's the contraction they are. So I said hungry. That was subliminal. They're hungry. Oh, wait, no, they're angry. I'm hungry. What am I saying? Okay. Anyway, they're angry. They are angry. That's the contraction. So in this book, they're going to put the wrong one just for you. And you have to figure out which one it should be. So the archers raised their bows to shoot the target over there. THEIR, their bows, and over there, that's a spot. So THERE, like here, there. Okay, now go to the practice page, and I'm going to have Dakota read the sentence today, please.
Others who were strong and good-hearted had lost their farms because the greedy king wanted their lands.
Good, nice reading. And greedy, we know, just means not satisfied with what you have, wanting more. I always think of King Midas, those who took my class way back at the beginning. We learned about King Midas. Greedy just means, selfish, wanting more money or gold. All right, it's bugging me because the theirs are wrong. Can we fix those first? Because that's bugging me. So what about Esther? It's the homophones. We got two homophones to fix. So their farms, that would be they are farms. That doesn't make sense. So how should we spell it for this one?
Sorry, give me a sec.
Okay.
Uh,
If the farms belong to them, how do we spell there?
There.
No, that's like here or there, right?
Oh.
That one. So it's the other one. You remember how to spell the
Mhm.
other one? You can look back on the page before. We just talked about the three theirs.
Their.
There you go. Now you got it. And
Sorry, my computer wasn't cooperating, so I had
oh,
to blank out for a minute.
oh, that's all right. I'm glad I got you now. How about this one? This one is like their lands. That doesn't make sense over there. That
Their.
there we go. Same. Their. You got it. I just want to get those out of the way because they were bugging me. So Emma, well, everybody find the article. That one's easy. We got that. And then Emma, how about the three nouns?
Farms,
Good,
paying,
good,
lands.
good. Easy peasy, cheesy. The pronoun Liana, I'm gonna tell you it's one of those indefinite pronouns
Um,
in that big list that we read. Yeah, these are kind of new, so it might take you a minute. And that's why we marked the page so you can go back if you need to.
um,
You guys see it? Don't tell her yet, but do you see it? Give me a thumbs up if you see the pronoun. Some of you are still looking. Normally, we're looking for like he, she, it, they, them, those types of things, but this one is different. I'll give you a little clue. It's referring back to,
others?
yes, good, you got it. You didn't even need my clue. Others. There you go. So that is an indefinite pronoun. And then there's five adjectives. Eliana, are you still there? Yeah, keep it.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and tell me the adjectives.
Strong,
Good.
good-hearted,
Yep.
greedy,
Yep.
lost,
No, look at the
uh,
nouns. Farms and lands. Whose are they?
their lands.
There. So that becomes an adjective. It's telling you whose farms, and then what's the other one?
The other there?
The other there. Yes. Coordinating conjunctions, Dakota. There's only one actually. That's the fanboys word.
And
Good. And then how about Dakota? You do the who, which clause too, since that was so easy.
who were strong
And you're going to keep going. I see a comma there, but actually that's not supposed to be there. So who were strong.
and good-hearted,
There you go. That's the end of it. In fact, let's just take that comma out. They did that on purpose to see if they could throw you off. Since you're only listing two adjectives, you don't need a comma. So let's check comma. Got the who, which. How about the adverb clause, Esther? Remember, that's the www.asia.b.
Give me a sec. The adverb clause?
Yeah, www.asia.b. And it's good to memorize those words. Remember, those are the ones that are when, while,
Right.
where, as, since, if, although, because.
If
When, while, where, as, since, if, although, because.
where?
Oh, no, that's were actually. So no,
That's where.
that's were.
Mm. Because right
There
here.
you go. Because starts with because. And then where's the end of it?
Um, wanted
Because the greedy king wanted, keep going.
their land.
There you go, their lands. That's right. So it's going to kind of complete that thought. So that's how we know how far to go with that. All right, subject verb pairs. Emma, what about the verbs? Let's start with those.
Um, is it who were?
Were, yeah, were is the verb. You're saying, oh, I forgot to put W/W right here. Are you saying who is the subject here?
I think so.
You're right. It is. Good. And then what else?
Lost.
Lost is a verb.
Wanted.
Wanted is a verb.
Mm,
There's one more verb that's like helping lost.
had lost.
There you go. Had lost. Okay, now find the subject. So who had lost their farms? It's not going to be inside those clauses because they have their own subject verb pairs. So look outside of those clauses.
Others.
There you go. Others is the subject. That connects with had lost. We already got the who clause. What about the because or the adverb clause here?
King.
King. There you go. It was the king who wanted their lands. Nice. Good job. And then the opener, Liana. What kind of an opener do we have?
Um, is the subject opener?
You're right. Do you remember what number that is?
One.
Yes, you remembered. Woohoo! Subject. And then we already got a bunch of this stuff, but we need to do the capital. That's pretty easy. And then the end mark is just a period. Not bad. All right, those clauses. Don't let those commas confuse you with those clauses, okay? Because sometimes they might try to put one in there where there shouldn't be one. Any questions about the practice page or anything? You guys are good? Okay. We're done with grammar, so your homework will be 52, 53, and 54. We're already halfway through to the 100 mark. Crazy how quick this goes. All right. I have someone trying to come in the Zoom, but I don't think they're in this class. I don't know why she's trying to come in. Oh, yeah, she's just really early, so I'll ignore that. Um, your binders, you guys wrote about dangerous birds. I'm still working on catching up on my grading. I'm so far behind. I'm hoping to catch up within the next couple of days here. Um, but you guys wrote about dangerous birds, and I wanted to make sure you remembered your topic clinchers. Did you guys remember your topic clinchers? Good. Who wants to tell me what the rule is? Can you practice telling me what is the topic clincher rule? Are you hiding, Esther? No hiding. I know Liana and Eliana know it. Remember the topic clincher rule? Okay, which one of you wants to do it?
I could do it.
Okay, go for it. Do your hands too. And everybody do it with her, okay? Go ahead.
The topic sentence and the bottom
The
sentence.
clincher
The
sentence.
clincher sentence must repeat or reflect two or three key words.
Nice. Woohoo! She remembered. That's it. The topic sentence and the clincher sentence. So remember, that's your first, that's why we use our hands like this. The first sentence and the last sentence of each paragraph, not the whole paper, of each paragraph. So you've got topic clincher, topic clincher, topic clincher, okay? And they must, I know it's goofy, but hey, it helps us remember, must, and then repeat or reflect. So repeat means the same word, and reflect is like a synonym, cold and freezing, something like that, okay? and then 2 or 3 of those words, of those keywords. All right, so hopefully you remembered. Now, here's another thing I want to remind you on your Google Classroom as I'm grading these. If you're missing anything, I'm going to take off some points, okay? Because yes, I know, but I want you to use that as a challenge. Don't just be like, oh, well, I got 8 out of 10. Oh, well. Don't do that. No, no. That means, uh-oh, what did I miss? And you open it up and then you look at my notes and you might have forgot a dress up word, or you might have forgot your topic clincher or your title, or you forgot to double space or something. And I'm like, don't forget, do this. And then I always say, fix it and turn it back in. And then boom, you get a 10. All right, that's your goal, 10. I know I've told you this before, but I just want to remind you. I spend a lot of hours grading. I have 85 students and I spend a lot of hours grading. So please do me a favor and at least read my notes and at least fix it and turn it back in. Then it's worth my time. All right. I have time today for one person to share their bird story. I know we got a lot to do today, so does anybody want to share dangerous birds? Oh boy, I see lots of hands here. Let me see.
Last week you said that I could read it, then
Did I?
yeah, because you weren't there.
I wasn't there, and I know that Eliana Dakota read kind of recently, a couple weeks ago. So I'm gonna have, I know you guys had great stories, but I'm gonna have Esther read it today. I'm taking notes here so I know who read, so we can kind of make sure to take turns with this. But I haven't heard Emma read yet, or Dakota. No, you did Dakota a couple weeks ago. Liana, you haven't had a chance to read yet, huh?
We were on vacation for a couple of days, so I'm behind.
Okay, that's okay, sweetie. You can
But
pick,
I
you
was planning on finishing after the class.
Okay, that sounds good. So, and you don't have to read it to the class, but I do want to give everybody the opportunity. So you can finish it when you can. That's the beauty of homeschooling. It's really cool because you can go on vacation in the middle of the year, and that's okay. And you catch up when you catch up. All right, Esther, do you want me to pull it up for you or do you have it? Okay, you're muted, so.
Okay, I have it right here.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead. Tell us your title too when you're
The
ready.
dangerous birds of the world. The first poisonous bird who was discovered in New Guinea forest is the hooded patui, with red, orange belly and a black head. After the hooded patui scratched a man, his skin became numb, and when he licked it, his tongue became numb. Scientists later found out that the bird's feathers and skin were interestingly toxic because of its diet of poisonous choristine beetles. This reddish, orange, and black bird is one of New Guinea's many poisonous creatures. The American ostrich is recognized as the largest bird in the world. It can reach up to 7 feet in height and weigh approximately 300 pounds, and as well as maintain running speed up to 40 miles per an hour. The ostrich's powerful strike is known to potentially kill predators such as lions or dogs. Male ostriches display black and white feathers, while females are typically brown and gray. Individual ostrich eggs can weigh up to as much as 3 pounds, and all eggs are laid in a communal nest because they want to stay together. Ostrich eggs, which are available to buy, are equal to about 2 dozen chicken eggs. The American ostrich and its egg are truly colossal.
I
The
like that.
southern cassowary is widely regarded as the most dangerous bird in the world. It is found in New Guinea and Australia. Distinguished by its red neck and blue head, the cassowary normally consumes fruit, insects, and fish. The southern cassowary is capable of running up to 30 miles per hour, and as well as swimming. The species is notable for its middle toe, referred to as the murderous snail, which can inflict severe injuries if the bird feels threatened. The southern cassowary is currently classified as an endangered because of people hunting them and nests being attacked by wild pigs. The southern cassowary is dangerous. Few and is but few in number.
Nice. Excellent job, Esther. Okay, guys, you know what to do in the camera. Woohoo! I love it. So good. I heard your topic clenchers in there. So basically, that one was pretty easy because if you mention the bird, like the hooded pitahui, and then mention it again in the last sentence, that covers your topic clincher. And I heard you do that for each one. That was really good. I heard some great LY words in there. Awesome. All right, you guys, very good. So we're gonna put away the dangerous birds. Eliana, I need you to turn your screen or your computer, I mean your camera, whatever the word is, on, please. We're gonna put away the yellow page first. This yellow page is gonna go behind model charts and outlines in your binder. We're gonna move around in your binder a lot right now. So make sure you open and close the rings between each thing so it doesn't fall out. But go ahead and open the rings behind model charts and outlines. There's other yellow pages in there, so stick that in there. The other one from Dangerous Birds is the pink one. Eliana, are you working on this? You got to put these things away, okay? So put away the pink page. This is such a handy list to have right here. Put it behind stylistic techniques tab because then you can use it later. You can find it when you're looking for where is that LY list? Oh yeah, it's in my stylistic techniques tab. So stick it in the rings behind that tab. Don't forget to open and close. So pink behind stylistic techniques, yellow behind model charts and outlines. The rest of Dangerous Birds, unless you're still working on it, if you're still working on it, keep it in your front pocket. If you're finished with it, you already turned it in, put it away in your finished folder or binder. And get out week 8. And this one has a weird title. It's called Mike the Headless Chicken, and it's a true story. I'm just going to say that it's true. Mike the Headless Chicken. So this is just 3 pages, page 75, 77, and 79, and you need a piece of lined paper. So once you got all that stuff put away, the new stuff out, you're ready to go, give me a thumbs up so I know you're ready. Good. Week 8, 3 pages plus lined. Good. I see that. Okay, good. Good. Eliana, you good? You got week 8 and a lined piece of paper? Okay. All right. So, we're still summarizing a reference. We talked about that last week, but the first thing I want to do is look at the checklist. I almost forgot. Go here to the checklist. This is a friendly reminder, especially to my new students in this class. This is how I grade your homework. When I sit down to look at your homework, I get out this list and I check to see that you remembered everything on here. If you forget something on here, I'm taking off points, okay? Like I said earlier. So make sure you use this when you're writing your paper. Today we'll go through the keyword outline and get all that set up. But I'm talking about when you go to type your paragraphs or write your paragraphs, use this. And you're going to notice here, your topic clincher is again here. It's going to be on this list forever in this class for this year, all the way till the end of the year. Okay, so make sure you get really used to using this topic clincher. You know the rule now, and it's even here on your checklist. And do you see where it says highlight or bold? That means that I want you to highlight or bold those words, not the whole sentence, just the words, 2 or 3 in the topic and the clincher. Does that make sense, Esther? Not the whole sentence, just two to three key words, like it says. In each paragraph. And then jump down here. There's a couple things I want to review with you. We know ly adverb. That one's probably the easiest one. Don't forget to add a who, which clause. Now, for those clauses, you only underline who or which. Okay, you don't have to underline the whole clause, but these, see how it says underline? That's why these are highlight or bold, so they look different. Okay, they're in different lists here. This one, these need to be underlined in each paragraph. Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. And then because clause, I want you to write something on this checklist really quick. Next to the word because clause, put of, circle it and cross it out like that. Do not use of after because. You can in other sentences, but you can't count that as a clause because as soon as you say because of, it becomes a prepositional phrase. It changes because of. So don't use of when you're looking for a spot for a because clause. Basically, you just want because, and then you're going to say why. Okay, say right after because, no of. All right. And then your banned words list is getting a little bit longer. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more next week. But you've got eat, ate, and go went on here. That's a new challenge for you. Make sure that you don't use eat, ate, or go went in your paper this week. I think that's what I wanted to go over with you. All right, so now get out your lined paper. Let's get your keyword outline all set to go. Name and date here. First and last. 11/6/25. This is a big title, so I'm going to start over here, skip a line and put Mike, the headless chicken. Mike, the headless chicken, and it's true. Now, in your dangerous birds report, that one was pretty easy because it was 3 different articles. One whole article about hooded pitahui, one whole article about African ostrich, one whole article about the southern cassowary. This time, as you probably already noticed, it's one big article, not 3 articles. It's just one. It's front and back. It's a big one. It's a long one, okay? But we're going to change that into a 3-paragraph report. So this is still going to be called the KWO. We're not doing story sequence chart right now. We're going to switch to KWO again. Skip a line and let's set this up. We're going to do Roman numeral 1 and 1 through 5 like this. Make sure you leave a space here for the regular numbers. And then that word clincher. And up here in the margin, topic. Okay, I like to have the topic clincher visible on the keyword outline to help you remember to include those. Skip a line, we're going to do the same thing for Roman numeral 2 and 3. So go ahead and take a minute to set up your chart, your outline. You already got it written down, Esther? Okay. I need you to stay off chat, you guys, for a minute, okay? So we got to focus on this. So no more chatting. All right, so go ahead and finish this up. And then as we're reading this article, we're going to read the whole thing today. You're going to mark in the margin what each paragraph is mostly about. Our goal is to find some interesting facts about Mike the Headless Chicken, but we need to categorize it in different topics. So see how we have topic, topic, topic? Your paper is going to have 3 topics. Those are the paragraphs. The subject is here, Mike the Headless Chicken. That's your subject. That's the big thing you're talking about. But you're going to have to figure out what each topic is going to be. And the way to do that is to label the paragraphs as you read it to decide what is the topic of the paragraph in the article. So let's look at the article next. Like I said, it's pretty long. And there's lots of paragraphs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 paragraphs total. Yep, it's long. You're writing 3. So that's why we're summarizing it. We're only telling some information, but each paragraph is going to have a topic, and you got to figure out, how am I going to organize this paper? How am I going to put my thoughts together here? So I'll start by reading just the first paragraph here. You can look at yours while I read. And as I go, if anything stands out to you as interesting, go ahead and underline it in your paper, just so that it's easy to find for when you're ready to make your list of, let me turn that off. There we go. That's better. When you're making your list of facts here. On September 10th, 1945, by the way, is a little bit gory in here, just to forewarn you, but it's going to be okay. Lloyd and Clara Olson of Fruita, Colorado, were killing and processing chickens to take to the meat market. One of them was a 5.5-month-old Wyandotte rooster. The chicken squirmed, and Olson's axe failed to make a clean cut, removing the bulk of the head but missing the jugular vein and leaving most of the brainstem and one ear intact. Okay, Eliana, I see your hand there.
I just wanted to say that my birthday's on September 10th, and it's on September 10th.
Whoa, that was weird. That is weird. So what I want to do is turn the paper to the side here, the side with the holes on it. And we're going to take a note. That paragraph was pretty short, so try to squeeze in your notes next to that paragraph right there. But I want you to write 2 words. We're going to put owners slash and then the word accident. And I want it to be kind of near that top paragraph, okay? So what we're doing is looking at each paragraph here and deciding, what is this paragraph mostly about? Well, it's talking about the owners of Mike the Headless Chicken and the accident, like what happened. So they were butchering, Mike squirmed, and he moved just enough where the axe missed his whole neck. So part of it stayed. All right. Next week, yeah, I'll show you a picture of Mike the Headless Chicken. Or maybe today at the end of class if we have time. Okay. Surprisingly, the headless chicken was still able to walk. It attempted to preen, which means clean itself, peck for food, and crow, although its crowing was more of a gurgling sound from its throat. It was placed in an old apple box for the night, and when the bird was still alive the next morning, Olson took it to town with the rest of his carcasses. He started betting people that he had a live headless chicken. Gradually, the word spread around town. And eventually, a local news reporter came to interview Olson. Lloyd and Clara had begun to care for the bird, feeding it a mixture of milk and water with an eyedropper and giving it small grains of corn. So all of a sudden now he's like, hey, I bet you I got a live chicken without a head in this box right here. You want to see it? Huh? You want to see it? Everybody's like, well, yeah, are you serious? So this paragraph is a little bit longer, but still, I want to squeeze in these notes here. I want you to put the word abilities. That's like what he can do. He could walk, he could crow, he could kind of eat. Instead of comma, put a slash, care. Like, how did they take care of him? So I put abilities and care. See that? So the first paragraph we labeled owners and accident, abilities, care. A little bit of both of those here. These become your possible topics. That's what we're doing. We're looking for, what are my choices for topics. Remember, you're going to have 3 topics, and there's going to be a lot more than 3 topics here. So you're going to have to figure out which ones do you want to talk about in your paper. All right, I know that the next 2 paragraphs are going to be the same topic. So I'm going to read the next 2, and then we'll label the next 2 on the side, okay? So it says, 2 weeks later, a sideshow promoter named Hope Wade visited the Olson farm with a proposition. Now, a sideshow is part of a circus. I don't know if you've ever seen a circus, but sometimes they have things, strange things on the side, like the tallest man in the world or the smallest person in the world, or maybe a 2-headed goat or something really bizarre. And those are called sideshows, not the main show, sideshow. Well, that was Mike. He was kind of a freak show. Okay, let's be real. Take the chicken on the sideshow circuit. It was the 1940s, and the farm was struggling, so Lloyd thought, might as well, because he's thinking, I can make some money off of this bird. First, they took the rooster to the University of Utah in Salt Lake City, where scientists did some testing and verified that, yes, indeed, this was a living, breathing, but headless animal. Life magazine published an article on Miracle Mike, the headless chicken, as he had been named by Mr. Wade. Then Lloyd and his wife and Mike began a tour of the country. They visited California and Arizona, and when the Olsons had to return to harvest their crops, Hope Wade took Mike on a tour of the southeastern states. People paid 25 cents to see this remarkable sight, and it was estimated that he earned for his owners as much as $4,500 in a month. That's decent today, but back then in the 40s, that was like a year's wage. So they were raking it in. A lot of money. Those 2 paragraphs kind of talk about the same thing. So what I want you to do here is kind of put like a little bracket like that around those 2 where it starts with 2 weeks and it goes all the way down to this one. Before in the spring, that's another paragraph here. So put a little bracket, and this is talking about like I'm going to put here fame / sideshow. This is how he started to become famous. So I put the word fame / sideshow. They took him on the road and they started getting money for people to see this animal. Okay. In the spring, go down here. In the spring of 1947, the Olsons again took Mike to Phoenix, where one night in a hotel room, they were awakened by the sound of Mike, choking. Oh dear. Poor Mike. His throat filled with mucus. Normally, they would have cleared this with a syringe, but unfortunately, their feeding supplies were left at the sideshow location and they were unable to find an alternative before Mike suffered and died. His grandson stated that for years, he, Lloyd, would claim that he had sold the chicken to a guy in the sideshow circuit. I think he didn't ever want to admit he screwed up and let the proverbial goose that lays golden eggs die on him. Olson never told anyone that what he did with Mike's dead body. So basically the grandson's like lying because he doesn't want to admit it was his fault, right? So these 2 paragraphs right here, and I know the first one kind of started on the other page, but this is talking about his death, basically, how he died. So let's put death here. Okay, and then we're going to go on to the next one here. So that's death. How did a chicken live for 18 months with no head? Dr. Tom Smulders, a chicken expert at Newcastle University, explained that there is a very, very little brain in the front part of a chicken's skull. It is mostly concentrated at the back. He estimates that while the beak, face, eyes, and an ear were removed with the hatchet blow, as much as 80% of the brain remained, including the parts that controlled heart rate, breathing, mobility, hunger, and digestion. It seems that in Mike's case, the hatchet came in exactly the right place, and a timely blood clot prevented him from bleeding to death. This one's going to be how alive. That's what I'm going to call this one. How did he stay alive? And I'm going to put a question mark there. How alive? Uh-oh, Liana got kicked off here. Others have tried to replicate the Olsons' accidental and remarkable decapitation, but no one has yet succeeded, and the wealth that Mike brought to the Olsons was short-lived. I think that's kind of sad that people were trying to get their own headless chicken. I mean, come on. It's kind of creepy. Although they were accused of getting filthy rich, their grandson affirms that while they did get a new tractor and a new car out of it, they continued to eke out a living on a farm with the rest of their days, basically meaning they didn't live in a big mansion, they didn't have millions and millions of dollars. They did get a couple new things, but that was pretty much it. These paragraphs go together. So since 1999, each year around the end of May, the town of Fruta holds an annual Mike the Headless Chicken Day celebration with themed events such as Run Like a Headless Chicken, 5K race, pin the head on the chicken, there you go, egg toss, and chicken bingo, a game whereby the numbers are determined by the chicken droppings falling on a numbered grid. Peep and wing eating contests, live music, and artisan booths make this a memorable weekend for the old and young alike, while commemorating the remarkable story of one chicken's will to live. There you go. There you have it. Okay, these two paragraphs go together. And these are basically after death. After he died. Or I'll just put after died. After he died, this is kind of like the legacy that he left, right? Now they celebrate his life. Now they do games and stuff and have a big party. Okay, so notice we made some notes here. We've got quite a few. We've got 1, 2, 3 different topics on the back, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 topics all together to choose from. What I want you to do on your outline is turn it over to the back. And let's make a list of these possible topics real quick. Possible topics. This is on the back of your keyword outline here. And I want you to copy those things that you labeled those paragraphs. Those are the ones you're going to choose from. So we had owners / accident. We had abilities / care. Fame. I'm going to write this kind of fast. You guys just write it down. Sideshow. And then on the back, death. How alive. And then after died. So this is, I'm gonna zoom in so you see that better, but this is kind of like the dangerous birds report, but that was a little easier because each article was a different bird. And so the topics were easy to spot, but this is how we do it if you're writing an article or you're writing a paper about a long article. This is how you do it. You read it, And then you decide, what are these paragraphs about? Those are my possible topics. And now we're going to pick the first one. So this week, just so you know, we're going to break this lesson up into 2 weeks, okay? Because we're almost out of time. This week, you're going to focus on one paragraph. So yes, it's going to be a little lighter homework this week, which is good. So if you have any other papers that you need to catch up on, this is the week to do that, okay? I want you to circle owners/accident, and we're going to put a Roman numeral 1 after that. That's going to be our first topic. And that's the one you're going to focus on this week for your homework. Yes. So turn your page back over to your outline. I'm going to put MHC for Mike the Headless Chicken. That saves us some words here. And we chose the first one. We're going to talk about the owners and the accident. So I'm going to put the year. Let's put the date actually too. September 10th, 1945. So notice I said sept, so I don't have to count that yet. I don't have any words yet. And I'm going to put they were processing chickens. So however you want to add that to your topic. So your topic is going to be mostly about the owners. So we'll put Olson's here. And you can put accident, like what happened here. You can put processing chickens, something like that. But your topic is going to be about what happened to Mike the Headless Chicken. What was the accident? Actually, I think I'm going to use accident here. That kind of makes sense. Because then at the clincher, we can use Olson's. I'm just going to put notes down here so I can remember, and then accident. Because we chose owners and accident here. I'm putting boxes around these to help you remember when you go to write this paragraph, you're going to have a topic clincher. And that way, if you decide about it ahead of time like this, it makes it so much easier when you highlight or bold it at the end. This is just next to the word clincher to remind you. Okay, just a note to yourself. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. And here is where you're going to find 5 facts. And hopefully you had a chance to underline as we went along, but especially in that first paragraph, 5 interesting things about who the owners were and what happened in the accident. So we have a few minutes to work on that. How about Eliana, I'm going to have you go first. What do you want to put for regular number 1? And you guys can work ahead of us, okay? So look at your own paper. And by the way, you're only using this first paragraph because this is the only one that's talking about the owners in the accident. So it's a short paragraph. So you're probably going to end up telling most of what's here in that paragraph.
So we're still on the owners and accident paragraph, right? Or are we on the
Right.
next one?
No, I'm going to have you guys, in fact, let's just draw a line like this so that we can remember you're just focusing on Roman numeral 1. We'll do 2 and 3 next week, so leave those blank, okay? We're just going to focus on the outline for 1 and then the paragraph for Roman numeral 1. Does that make sense? Okay. So yeah, and the only paragraph that talks about the accident and the owners is the first paragraph. So focus on that one. What do you think and kind of go in the same order as the paragraph. So what do you think, Eliana, what should we put for regular number 1? If you guys already know, you can start working on your outline. What were they doing on that day?
So they were killing chickens or cutting their heads off
Uh-huh.
and processing them
Uh-huh.
and selling them to the meat market so they could have money.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. So that's a lot of words, but how can we kind of sum that up into one line on our keyword outline here?
Maybe we could put a face with two X's for the eyes to make it look like a dead.
Okay.
And then chickens,
Okay.
processed.
Okay.
And then we could put like MM or market for like meat market or
Oh,
market.
okay.
Market.
Okay. It's not a bad idea. We've used that before. That's kind of the dead face. Killing and chickens. And then you said processing. And then maybe just M market.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you guys have a different way to put that on yours, you can do it whatever makes sense to you. It doesn't look like we have very many sentences in that first paragraph, so we're probably going to use each sentence actually. So we got 1, 2, and the last sentence is really long, so we can kind of use our space. If we want to use 2 lines, we can. And if you need more facts, you can combine some of the other stuff too, like how they cared for him. If you need some more information to put in that first paragraph, does that make sense? So if you need to add a little extra information, if you run out of stuff to put on here. So, Liana, what about the next thing about what was the breed and the rooster and all that? What can we put for number 2?
Um,
There's a 5.5-year-old.
oh yeah, one of them was a 5.5-month-old
Month old.
rooster.
Yeah, so I think we could do 5, 1/2 month Wyandotte. Oops, Dotte rooster. Okay, so here's what I recommend. You guys can finish this for your homework. Keep going on the sentences that are left. Number 5, if you run out of facts in that paragraph, you can talk about how he was still able to walk. If you want to add that to number 5, even though that's part of a different topic, that's okay. We can combine some of the topics together. Remember, you're summarizing, so you're only telling some of those topics. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Okay. So your homework this week is going to be to finish 3, 4, 5 using the rest of the first paragraph for sure. And then you can pick something from here, the abilities and care, if you need more facts to fill up that paragraph, and then write your paragraph. And don't forget to use your topic clincher. Don't forget to use your checklist on that. And then next week we'll finish 2 and 3, okay? Because it's kind of long, so we want to make sure to get it all in there. Are there any questions about what your homework is this week? Go ahead, Emma.
Um, should we turn in the KWO of what we have so far and just the grammar?
You're gonna do yes, but you're also gonna write a paragraph. So you're gonna turn in a
Oh,
paragraph
okay.
too. Yeah. Because next week we're gonna add to the paragraph, but I want to at least see the first paragraph. Yep, good question. So you'll have grammar, turn in your checklist, and turn in your one paragraph. Any other questions? All right, you guys. And then if you have any catching up to do, try to catch up this week since your homework isn't that much, okay? So try to catch up on other papers. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. See you next
Bye. Thank
week.
you.
Bye. You're welcome. See you next week.